Man, I'll tell you what, but I didn't just leave Texas and go to California. Like, I lived in a van for a year. But I always would probably question, like, will I be able to find my path, or am I doing what's right? Like, because there's so many variables, there's unknown variables. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. I didn't know what I was gonna do exactly. I knew it was gonna be something with basketball, but I didn't know exactly what that entailed. Was it coaching a youth program? Was it like high school coaching? What was it? And then I just bet on myself. Not enough people know who Trae Jones is. And I want to expand my horizon. Like, I want to expand the market in China and Taiwan and Japan, like wherever the case may be. I want to go to cities that I thought and countries that I thought I would never visit. And that's what I'm doing currently. I'm Trae Jones, AKA Trae Ball, whatever you want to call me. I do personal player development for a lot of players, aging from very, very young to I have clients that are like in their 60s. So it ranges very young to kind of older people. I finished off playing college basketball when COVID hit, and then I moved out to LA, Los Angeles from Texas. And then I moved out there on a branch. Honestly, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just moved out there with the idea of like, hey, I'm moving to a bigger city with more opportunities, so I'll figure it out when I get there. And yeah, that's kind of what happened. I was doing training in college prior to moving out there, a little bit as I was playing. And then whenever I got out there, I was like, okay, now it's time to go full-fledged into this thing. So, man, I'll tell you what, but I didn't just leave Texas and go to California. Like, I lived in a van for a year. So I left Texas in a van. I drove to California in the van, and I lived in that van for 1 year straight until I could, until I figured out what I was doing, and also save up enough money for an apartment, because LA is not the cheapest area to move to, especially coming from Texas. You know, it's two different areas and regions. So yeah, I had to get out of my comfort zone for sure. I lived in the van, and that taught me a lot as well. And I think like I was already like had this warrior mindset, but even after that, living in that van, I was like, nothing can stop me now. So like anything after that was super easy. I would lie if I say I didn't think about like, not necessarily going back, but I always would probably question like, will I be able to find my path, or am I doing what's right? Like, because there's so many variables, there's unknown variables. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. I didn't know what I was gonna do exactly. I knew it was gonna be something with basketball, but I didn't know exactly what that entailed. Was it coaching a youth program? Was it like high school coaching? What was it? And then I just bet on myself, because I went to school for business. I studied business management. So for me, I always wanted to be like an entrepreneur and create my own business. So at that point in time, I'm like, okay, I started off doing like magazine companies. So I produced a magazine, and then I started doing essential oils, and then eventually I landed on the basketball business. But I always had the drive of like creating something that was my own and then giving it to other people. And now that I can do that with basketball, it's a double whammy. Like, I can create my own style of training and then give it to the world. Literally, like I'm on a world tour right now. So it's like brick by brick by brick by brick. And I feel like I'll never get to the point where I'm just standing on top of the bricks looking down like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm always gonna be looking forward to where's the next brick so I can lay it on top of the other brick. And I feel like that's gonna be me until it's all done, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just striving to be the best that I can possibly be. My mom was definitely a big help. I mean, she would send me, I would ask for like $20 or something so I could eat, but most times I wouldn't ask because I wanted to figure it out on my own. If that meant eating a slice of pizza every day and that's it, okay, then I'll do that and figure out the rest. But I would never really want her to know that I'm struggling, or else she'd probably want me to come back home. And that was the last thing I wanted to do. So I had to figure it out. But along this process, there hasn't been just, I mean, of course my mom's like up there with the people that have helped me the most for sure. Mental support, being on the phone with her, sending me money, she's done an amazing job. But there's also been other people that have played like, not similar roles, but they have played a role in the process. But there's so many of those people. There's not just one person I'm like, he made me who I am, because I'm the one that's putting in the work every single day. I'm the one that's living in the van every single day. So, not necessarily one person that's done it, but there has been a lot of people along the process that have like kind of pitched in or helped in some sort of way. There's been multiple times I put less than $5 in my gas tank, just in that van, because it was guzzling the gas.
Yeah.
And I remember doing that vividly, man, because it wasn't that long ago. It's still fresh on my mind, but I'll never forget any of that, because that's really like what made me who I am today. I try to just be smart and learn something from every training session, and every training is really different. Every single one is a different like piece of art. I feel like with the pro guys, you're never gonna really teach them something, or like at that level, there's gonna be very little that you're gonna really teach them. You're just sharpening iron. So it's more about, for me, it's more about like being a personable player, or being more of a, like how much of a friend can I be with them? Like, how many things can we relate on? We can talk about other things, like how's your kids doing? What do you got planned for today? Because they got so many people in their ear every day telling them, you're the greatest, you're this, you're this, you're this.
Yeah.
So for me as a trainer coming in, I'm like, all right, I don't want to be that. I mean, yeah, it's cool working out with these guys and everything, but they hear this all the time. Let me bring something else to the table. Let me be somebody that can relate to them. Like maybe sometimes we talk about playing cards, or I know me and Zach have like, we've slap boxed before and stuff like that's what I really enjoy, is like laughing with them and enjoying time. And then, obviously I am trying to get them better. We have the same goal in mind. So it is a profession. You have to be professional and know what you're talking about and know what you're doing. And at the end of the day, if they trust you outside the court, they're going to trust you on the court, and they're going to trust you with their game. So, I mean, he's probably the most skilled player I've ever worked with, to be honest. His footwork is incredible, and I feel like we have similar games. I'm not saying I'm Zach LaVine by any means. I definitely don't jump as high as he does, but I will say, like, it's very, very cool to see his footwork and like his twitch, his handle. I mean, this guy's an all-star, and he's also a dunk champ. So just to see that in person and see his work ethic, how he shows up every day being a professional, it also helps me. And you asked what I would learn earlier from different people. Like, that's something that I can learn from him, is how to be professional every single time he steps on the court. So how can I be professional every single time that I approach a training session? So that's something that I picked up from him. My first workout with Zach, he was like, yeah, just give me something. And I'm like, well, like, there's 1,000 things I could give you. And he was like, well, let me tell you something. One time I watched Kobe work out, and he did the same thing for an hour straight. He worked on the same move for an hour straight. And in my head, I'm like, perfect, because now I have to think less of, as a trainer, of like, what drill can I show Zach to make him be like, oh my gosh? No, it's never about that. Just do the regular, basic, fundamental things with these guys, and they'll respect you more. Because when they leave that gym, they're no longer thinking about you. Yeah. They got kids and wives at home. They're not thinking about that ball handling drill that you gave them that was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go to sleep and dream about this ball handling drill. Nah, it's just like, what he's gonna remember is like how I joked around with him, or something specific that we talked about, or how I was a normal person to him, So I think that's more important than any drill could be.